Hey folks, Carl here and welcome to episode 6 of the Jagdtiger build. Now if you remember at the end of the last episode we just put on the heavy chipping fluid and done the camo. So in this episode we are going to start to take off that paintwork and start to reveal what's underneath. So without further ado, let's get on with it. Okay folks, that has been just over an hour and I have started with the two exhaust cowlings and I've started to take the paintwork off. So if I zoom in a little bit you can see the sort of effect that we are looking for. So the paint has started to look like it's wearing away. Come on, focus a bit better than that. There we go. So it's just a matter of using a little bit of warm water now and soaking the piece and letting the paint start to move away. Obviously that silver is going to dull up a little bit once we start to put some washes on. So it looks awfully shiny at the moment. So all as we are doing, if I zoom out a little bit more, I've got a couple of brushes. I've got a little chopped off brush to give it a good scrub if needed, and I'm just using a very small brush and a little pot of warm water, and all we are doing is finding the parts we want to wash away. For example, around the top of this turret, and we're just soaking it and slowly working it away until the paint starts to come away. Just a matter of getting it wet, letting it soak for a little while, just on the places where you want it to come away. And as you can see, let's zoom in. We are now starting to very gently, we don't want too much. You can see that paint is starting. The more we rub, the more we take off. And that's the sort of effect we are looking for. So if it's been a little bit stubborn, you can get the little stubbly brush and you can scrub that little bit harder. As you can see, this brush is a little bit dirty, so it's starting to come off a little bit more, and then we can clean this up with a bigger brush just to get that muck off. There we go. You can see it's starting to take the paint off. We want some off here. Now this has got 3 layers of coat, 3 layers of coat, 3 layers of paint on this part, so it's going to take a little bit more work to work it through. So we're just looking for high point on the model where we want the paint to be worn. So let's see if we can get some off a little bit further up this barrel. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. There we go. So we can get some off that edge. There we go, it's starting to come away. to the smaller brush, starting to take a little bit too much off. There we go, you see it's starting to come away now. It's probably a little bit easier to just dry brush this on, but personally I think you get a little bit of a better effect if you do it this way. You actually get that dimensional effect, especially once the wash goes on. Helps if you do it on camera. There we go, it's really starting to come away now, so I need to be quite gentle, otherwise we'll just end up taking too much off. Like that. So there we have it. Dab this off, get it dry again. So let's zoom in. So there we have it. Looks like the paintwork has gone through right to the base metal. Now we're going to be able to cover some of this up with, and there we've gone all the way through the silver as well, down to the black. Maybe we should have painted this in hull red, and then we would have had the undercoat underneath it. Maybe, maybe not. I'm just going to see if I can get a little bit off the tip. Oh, wrong way of this. A little bit starting to come now. There we go. Go. So I am going to rinse and repeat now for the main hull, and I'm not going to make you sit there and watch it all, so I shall carry on and we will be back very shortly. Okay folks, that is the first pass done and starting to dry out now. These lights around a little bit so we can get a bit of a better contrast, and we shall move that, and we shall zoom in a little. So we have started to take off, oh excuse my phone, some of the paintwork on the raised edges, and I've gone with a toothpick and put some scratches down the side of the tank. So, phone's going a little bit mad today. I'll take this turret off. So we can flip onto the back, and again, some of the high points are worn off metalwork. So, I am going to give this 24 hours to dry properly now, and then we shall separate them, and we shall look to start getting the wheels and the track on and start to get the weathering down. So I shall be back, well, I shall be back in 24 hours. See you in a moment. Hey folks, so 24 hours to dry, and we have now started to paint in some of the tooling. So let's get this out of the way. Put that back there for a moment. So we have started on the back, gone and applied a rust type texture onto the back of here. Zoom in and show you. So it's very lumpy. So still left to do, we've got to paint these here, and that is pretty much it for that. I might paint the handle for the jack a slightly different colour, don't know yet. It's awfully white, balance going mental. There we go. That's all as we've done on there so far. There's nothing extra or additional to paint on. Turret. That is all done and ready. Same with these back exhaust cowlings. Okay, and on to the main hull. So we've gone and added in what is the glass for the viewports inside, and I don't know if the camera's going to pick that up or not. Let's zoom in a little bit and see. I've actually gone and give them a coat of Tamiya's clear green. There we go. You can see it better and actually see through them with the naked eye, but the camera's not picking it up very well. So zoom back out. What else have we painted? So we painted the first part of these rods, the wooden, I think these were used for cleaning the barrel, I'm not sure, so we've got to put a metal tip on the end of those. Then we've got the cables to paint as well. On the back we've gone and we painted the exhaust, this colour is like a bronze colour. Painted the metal work on these what look like giant pliers. Again, we've done this, it looks like a crankshaft, but I'm not sure what it is. We paint the poles this side, the crowbar and the shovel, all painted up. And the hammer, I've got to paint the handle on the hammer yet. Axe head is painted, we've got to paint the handle yet. So we are plodding through it. Got to paint the gun as well. So yeah, we are plodding through it and getting there. So that is where we are currently up to. So I am going to carry on painting the tool work and the ancillary bits and pieces, and we shall then come back and take a look at what will be next. I'll talk to you shortly. Okay folks, oh excuse me, knocking the camera stand. So the Tiger is all painted and we are currently
decal in. Now we haven't gloss varnished. Now there's been a bit of a discussion on the ISM Facebook page whether you need to gloss before applying your decals, so I thought I would give it a go. As long as you get a reasonably good finish on the paint, you don't need to. And as you can see, we've just placed that decal there, and this is not gloss varnished. So what are we using? We are using the Micro Salt and Micro Set pots 1 and 2, and we have them in these water brushes. Again, another great tip from Paul over at ISM, and we have labelled them, well, the one's actually coming off this one, but that one's still labelled up as 2. So Micro Set first. Once that's all dried, a little dab of Micro Salt if it's required. So you just squeeze the brush and it puts some into the fibres on the tip, and then you just rub it on your decal and wet it and wait for it to loosen up. Now this one's been on for a few minutes, so we should be close to it starting to move. There we go, it's starting to come away. So I pushed it partially off the backing paper and get another set of tweezers. These are my tweezers that will grip the piece, and then just picking up the decal and then placing it very carefully where we want it. So we want it right about there. There we go. And then we're just going to put a little dab of the Micro Set. A little bit more into the brush. A little coating of Micro Set. So I maybe put a little bit too much on there, so we will get a little bit of tissue paper. I'll find my tissue paper. We need a little bit, and we will just soak that up and off. And then just leave it be and let it do its thing and set. So that is those 2 back ones done with no gloss varnish. So onto the side ones, and it's just a matter of rinse and repeat. So take this, grip it, give the brush a bit of a squeeze to get some Micro Set into it, soak the backing paper. So a little bit on the front, and we don't need to put any on the model itself, except they'll just start to soften the paint. We'll just give that a few moments to soak up. And of course we're using instructions on where to place these decals, so these side ones want to go towards the rear, just in front of these tracks. So ready to start coming off yet? Not quite, very close though. Just keep gently pushing until it comes away. A bit more on the back. A few more moments. She's starting to move now. So get enough of it off the backing paper so your tweezers grab hold of it very carefully, like so, and then place it where we want it. So we want it around about there-ish. There we go. And again, a little bit over the top just to help get the air from behind it. And there we go. Over the top of there like that. And it's not touched the paintwork at all. Obviously these will darken up once we get the wash onto it. So, one more side, zoom back out. Not very many decals on this model. This is it, these 4 decals. There are no other markings at all. And the only difference between the 2 schemes
that it gives you in the instructions is just soak this, and I shall show you. So, leave that be for a moment to soak off. The only difference is we've got the first one here is unidentified unit 1945 and an unidentified unit 1945, and the only difference is the rear of them both is the same, and the only difference is this one's slightly further back and this one's in the centre. So we've gone for the first one. Not that it's going to make any difference because they're both unidentified. So zoom out a little bit more. See, not even any water required. No water, no gloss. Just the micro set and your model. It's just a matter of being patient and waiting for it to come off the backing paper on its own. Here she comes. There we go. Off. Take the decal. That's flipped around on me. So very carefully. Like that. And again. Place it down. That will do. A little bit on the top, just to squeeze. Pop it around, get it into place. And again, I put too much down there, so I'll need to soak some of that up. Let the paper, the capillary action of the paper, pull it away. Going to set solid now. There we go. We don't want it perfectly square because these markings have just been slapped on. And there we have it. That is that model all decaled up. Simple, nothing to it, and no gloss. That's the first time I've ever done that. It's not the first time I've ever done that. So, decals without gloss, it does work. Thank you, Paul. Excellent. So, we will give those half an hour or so to just to dry off and do what they've got to do, and then we'll put a little bit of microsol on there. So, we shall be back. I'm not going to come back to show you putting the microsol on because all I'll be doing is dabbing the brush on and then leaving it again. And then it's getting late now, so tomorrow I will gloss coat these and then we can start on the weathering. Talk to you then. Okay folks, that is episode 6 done. Now apologies for the long delay for this episode, but I've been rearranging and reorganising the cave, which I plan to do a video of very, very soon. So that's episode 6 done, and as I've just said, when we come back for episode 7 we shall be moving on to the weathering. Now this piece, just as a little preview, this piece is weathered for the most part. There's a little bit to do on it, and we should be covering how we have got this effect in the next video. So, little preview, we have been working on all the wheels here and a quick sneak of the tank itself. So we are working our way through the weathering. So that's episode 7. So hope to see you then, and as always, Thank you very much for watching. Be good, be safe. As always, keep making models, and we will see you next time. Ta-ta!